Shah from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today I am going to explain you about adaptive filters, basic principle of forward linear predictive filters and least mean square algorithm from the subject of digital signal processing from the unit of adaptive filters. Now the first topic is adaptive filter. What is adaptive filter? Adaptive filter means a filter whose coefficients are changing with the characteristic of original signal is known as adaptive filter. It means it is considered as one kind of filter whose coefficients will change according to its characteristic will change. So if we are taking different coefficients, so we can't filter out a particular frequency for it. So for that we have to use the adaptive filters. Basically the adaptive filters are considered as one kind of special filters in which will filter out something for variable coefficients, right? Basically where the adaptive filters will be used, suppose if we are taking any spectrum of the desired signal, then the noise spectrum will also in this desired signal. So if we are considering that the frequency response or the spectrum of any desired signal response will be drawn like this in the same frequency range if the noise will be arising. So we can't remove the particular noise, right? Because the spectrum will remain same. So if the frequency range for the original information signal and the noise signal will be in the same frequency band, then we can't filter out the noise. So if you want to filter out this noise, so for that we have to use this adaptive filter. So in this adaptive filter will change in the value of coefficient, and according to that we can remove the noise in the same spectrum of the desired signal. Now if we are defining the use of adaptive filter, what are the basic use of the adaptive filters? The first basic use is if the nature of the input signal and the noise signal occupies the same common frequency spectrum, then we'll use this adaptive filter. So this particular can be defined by the last graph, right? If we are taking the spectrum of the desired signal and the noise signal, the spectrum will occupy by the same frequency range, then we can't remove the noise. So for that we'll use this adaptive filters. Now the second use of adaptive filter is if the nature of the input signal is not known to us in the advance, then we can't use the simple filters, right? So for that also we are using this adaptive filter. So if we know the nature of the input signal, then we can filter out a particular frequency band by using these simple filters. But if you want to filter out for unknown input signal, then for that we have to use this adaptive filters. And if the signal to be filtered is changing slowly with time, then also we have to use this adaptive filter. So there are basically these three use of this adaptive filters. Now the next topic is preferences of the FIR filter for designing of the adaptive filter. So basically in the designing of the adaptive filter we will use the FIR filter. Basically there are two types of filter. The first one is FIR filter and the second one is IIR filter. In the FIR filter will representing as finite impulse response filter, and IIR filters are considered as infinite impulse response filter. So basically we are using this FIR filter in the designing of adaptive filter because of some reason. The first reason is FIR filters are simple to design. It means in the finite impulse response, as we are taking the finite number of input signals, so the impulse response will be finite, so it will be easy in the design. Now the second reason is it contains only zeros, so designing is easy. So as it will use only zeros, there will be no poles, so because of that the design will become easy or simple. And the third reason is FIR filters have linear phase characteristic, and so that it will give you the stable output always. So if you want to design stable output system, so for that we have to use this FIR filter, because in the FIR filter as there is no feedback, so because of it has only finite number of impulse response. So because of these three reasons, we are using this FIR filter in the designing of adaptive filters. Now the next topic is applications of adaptive filter. Where is the application of adaptive filter? Basically, adaptive filter will be used in the EEG machine. In the EEG machine, if you want to see the waves of the brain, then for that we have to use this adaptive filter. Suppose if I am considering that the EEG machine, it will be considered as it is basically used to find waves of the mind signal, right? So for that we have to use this EEG machine. Suppose if some person has brain damage, so we have to check whether there is any improvement in his brain signal or not. So for that we have to use this EEG machine. So for that, suppose electrodes are connected over here and we have to see the movement of the signal of the brain, right? But as the electrodes are connected over here, so because of blinking of eyes, it will creating a signal. So it will consider as the change of the brain signal. But actually it is a change of the signal due to the eyes blinking, right? So this blinking of eyes will consider as one kind of noise. So this kind of noise can be removed by using this adaptive filter, so that we can get only the signals of the brain. So if there will be any improvement in the brain signal, then and then only it will give you the response, otherwise it will not give you the response. So basically we'll differentiate this two types of signals. The first one is visceral signal, means the brain signal, and the second one is the noise signal. It will consider as the blinking of the eyes. So these two signals will be differentiated by using this adaptive filter. So we'll easily removing the noise signal, means the signal because of the blinking of the eyes. So it will be removed by using this adaptive filter. Now the second application of this adaptive filter is in the digital communication over the telephone channel. So if we want to use for the telephone channel, so for that also we will using the adaptive filter, because at each and every point the coefficient will not same. So if there will be coefficient is different, so because of that we have to use this adaptive filter instead of the simple filter. Now the next application is we have to use this adaptive filter in the spread spectrum. Now the next topic is basic principle of forward linear protective filters. So basically this kind of filters will be used in the designing of the adaptive filter, but for that, before going to this particular topic, we have to see the basic linear filter. So if we are drawing the basic linear filter block diagram, it will look like this. So the received signal is considered as the output signal of any system, right? So it will consider as Yk, and basically it's a mixture of the original signal with noise signal. So we're representing this as the input signal for the receiver side. So it will consider as signal plus noise, and it will representing as Yk. And the noise signal will consider as Xk. Now this noise signal is given to this linear filter, so it will basically filter out this noise. Now the signal plus noise is given along with the linear filtered output, so it will give you the signal estimation. It means it will give you the combination of these two signals at the output side, so it will generating the error signal, and the error signal will representing as Ek. So if we are writing the equation of Ek, so you can see that the error signal is the difference of output signal Yk with this noise Xk. So if we basically considering that the output signal is Yk, so Yk will considering the original signal plus noise, and this will be removed by the noise. So basically we are taking the signal plus noise as Yk minus Nk we consider as the noise, right? So noise will be cancelled out, so it will give you the particular original information signal. But we can't get the perfect original signal at the output side. So because of that, it will generating some error signal. So error signal will be representing by Ek, and equation of it equals to Yk minus Nk caret equals to Yk minus summation I equals to 0 to n minus 1 W of I Xk minus I. So in this we will consider as xk minus I means it will consider as the original information signal sample, and this w of I will representing as weight vector. So what is the meaning of weight vector? It is basically used for the weightage of the coefficient, because as we have taken the different values of coefficient, so how much portion of this coefficient will be there. Now if we are writing the equation of error signal for the k number of samples, so it will be representing as ek equals to yk minus nk, right? So yk is considered as signal plus noise, and nk caret will consider as the noise signal. So signal plus noise minus noise, so it will cancel out the noise and it will generating the original information signal. Now in this we have taken the noise signal as nk caret equals to summation I equals to 0 to m minus 1 w of I xk minus I. So if we are putting this value in the above equation, so answer of it equals to ek equals to yk minus summation I equals to 0 to m minus 1 w of I xk minus I. Now if we are representing this signal in terms of matrix, then it will be representing as w of I will be representing in the form of column matrix, then it will representing as transpose form, so it will representing as w raised to t. So the equation will becomes like this: ek equals to yk minus w raised to t into x. Here the value of xk will representing as the input vector, and it will be representing as xk minus 1 up to k minus m minus 1. And the value of w is considered as weight vector, so in this it will representing as w of 0, w of 1 up to w of m minus 1. Now if we are taking the square of this error, then it will be representing as ek square. Why we have taken the square value? Because the error may be positive or it may be negative. So if we are taking the sum of all the errors, so it will gives you plus minus, means at any point it may becomes 0. But actually there is no 0 error. It is not considered as the correct answer, right? So because of this reason we have to take the square of the error, and at last we are taking root of it. So because of this reason, first of all we are taking the square of the error, so it will be representing as ek square equals to yk square minus 2yk xk raised to t w plus w raised to t xk raised to t w. So this particular equation is derived from the equation of ek. In the equation of ek we had taken the square of its value. So after simplification, answer of it equals to like this. Now in this, if we are taking the mean square error, it means if we are taking the average value of the error, then it will representing as mean value of it, right? So mean value will basically representing as expected value of it. So if we are taking the expected value of this error, then it will be representing as e of ek square. So it will be representing as j. So basically the value of j equals to e of ek square. Now if we are putting the value of ek square in this equation, so answer of it equals to j equals to e of yk square minus 2e of yk xk raised to t w plus e of w raised to t xk raised to t and w. Here the value of e yk square is representing as expected value of the signal plus noise, because as you know that the value of yk will representing as signal plus noise. So if we are taking e of it, so it will representing as expected value of this particular signal, right? So e of yk square will representing as expected value of the signal plus noise. Now the next value it will representing as yk xk, then it will representing as, if I am taking e of yk xk, then it will representing as cross correlation vector of length n, which is denoted by p, and as we have taken xk transpose, so it will representing as p equals to minus p raised to t, right? Now the next value is e of xk raised to t. So it is considered as xk with xk, it means it is considered as autocorrelation. If I am taking two variables y and x, so it will consider as cross correlation, and if I am taking x with x, so it will consider as autocorrelation, right? So xk raised to t is representing as autocorrelation vector of length n by n, and it is denoted by the value of r. Now if we put in these three values in the above equation, then the answer of it equals to j equals to sigma square plus 2p raised to t w plus w raised to t rw. Now if you are finding the value of the gradient of the mean square error, then its value is representing as gradient will representing by del, and the value of it equals to dj by dw equals to 0. So basically if we will taking this value as a j, and if we will taking the differentiation of this with respect to w, then it will representing as dj by dw, and answer of it equals to, it will be equating by 0. So if I am finding the value of dj by dw, then its value is del equals to d by dw sigma square plus d by dw 2p raised to dw plus d by dw w raised to t rw, and its value equals to 0. Here we are representing the weight vector w, which represent the filter coefficient. Now the first factor will containing the sigma square, it will not containing any factor of w, so its answer equals to 0. So if we are taking d by dw sigma square, answer of it equals to 0. Now the next thing, in this the value of it equals to 2 into p raised to t, and if we are converting this p raised to t means transpose form from the transpose form, if we are converting in the simple form, then it will representing by minus that term, right? So it will representing like minus 2p. So 2p raised to t w will representing differentiation of it will representing as minus 2p. And the last factor it will representing as d by dw w raised to t rw, it will representing as 2rw, because w raised to t will representing basically in the form of w, right? So w square. So if we are taking the differentiation of w square, so it will give you the answer in the form of 2w. So basically this will be representing as 2rw. Now if we are putting these three values in the above equation, so answer of it equals to del equals to dj by dw, and answer of it equals to minus 2p plus 2rw equals to 0. So if we are taking 2p on the second side, so answer of it equals to 2rw equals to 2p. From this, if 2 will be cancelled out, so final value of w is representing as p by r, right? And 1 upon r will representing as r inverse. So basically its answer is considered as PR inverse. Now what is the representation of W? W will be indicating the weight vector, or we can also say that it is considered as the filter coefficient, right? So W will consider as filter coefficient. So basically we had find the value of filter coefficient, and in this filter coefficient, the value of filter coefficient will change according to this value of P and R. So these two values will change, and according to that the value of W will change, and we can remove the noise. But if we are finding the optimum value of this W, then it will be representing as W optimum equals to PR raised to minus 1. Now there are some limitations in this linear filter. So which limitations will be that? The first limitation is complex calculation. How it will be complex in the calculation? As you see in this, that in this calculation we have to use this cross correlation and autocorrelation, right? So what is the value of cross correlation? It will be representing in the form of P, and autocorrelation will be representing in the form of R, right? So basically we had find the value of W in the form of P and R, right? So basically the value of W will representing as P and R means it containing the autocorrelation and cross correlation matrix. So first of all we have to find out autocorrelation and cross correlation, and then we have to use this in the form of matrix, and after it calculation it will give you the final answer. So the process will become complex. So first limitation is complex calculation. The second limitation is time consuming. As the calculation is complex, so For the calculation of this whole thing, for cross correlation, autocorrelation, it will take some more time. So it will consider as time consuming. And the third limitation is variable optimum W. Because we using the autocorrelation and cross correlation, so because of that, at each and every time the value of W will change. Least mean square algorithm, it means it is considered as LMS algorithm for this. So in this, we'll removing these three different limitations by removing the use of autocorrelation matrix and cross correlation matrix. So how will removing this two correlation matrix? So for that, in the LMS algorithm, the weight vector, or we can say that the filter coefficients are adjusted sample to sample using the equation Wk plus 1 equals to Wk minus mu into del k. In this, k plus 1 will representing that the next sample coefficient. So if I am taking the present sample, it will be representing by k. And if we want to find out for the next sample, so the coefficient for the next sample will representing by Wk plus 1. Here the value of k will considering as the corresponding sampling instant. Means at each time, if we are taking the value, it will representing by the factor of k. Wk, it will representing as weight vector of the filter at k sampling instant. Now the value of mu will representing as parameter which controls the stability and the rate of convergence, and the del k will representing as gradient vector at the kth instant. So equation of the gradient, as we had derived in the last topic, as del equals to minus 2p plus 2rw. So if you want to find out for del k, so in this we will taking del k as in suffix, we will taking the value as k. So the equation will representing like del k equals to minus 2pk plus 2rk into wk. Now if we are taking the value of pk, the value of pk equals to xk into yk, and the value of rk equals to xk into xk transpose. Now if we putting this value in the equation of del k, then the value of del k equals to minus 2xk yk plus 2xk transpose wk. Now in this, if we are taking the 2xk part as common, so the term will be minus 2xk. First term will be representing as yk minus xk transpose wk. Right. Now as you know that the equation yk minus xk transpose wk will representing as error vector, it means ek. So the value of ek is representing this bracket function. So instead of this bracket, we will taking the value as ek. So basically the value of del k will representing as minus 2xk into ek. Now if we putting this value of del k in the equation of wk plus 1, then the equation will be wk plus 1 is equals to wk plus 2 mu ek xk. Now in this equation you can see that there is no use of t and no use of r. It means we are not using autocorrelation function and cross correlation function. So there is no need to find the autocorrelation and cross correlation function matrix. So there is no time consumption, no complexity, and no variation in the optimum value of W. So in this particular algorithm will removing all these three limitations which will occurring in the linear filter. Now the condition of convergence will be representing as 0 is less than mu, but mu is greater than 1 upon lambda maximum. Here the value of lambda maximum will representing as the maximum eigenvalue of the input data matrix. So by using this equation we can find out the condition of convergence. It means where we are getting the stable output. Now the next point is flowchart of this LMS algorithm. So if we are drawing the flowchart of LMS algorithm, it will representing like this. In this, first of all, we are initializing the input signal xk minus I along with the weight vector wk of I. Then it will gives you the output to in the next block. In the next block, we will reading the value of xk and yk. It means we will reading the value of signal plus noise and noise from the A to D converter. Output of it is given to the filter xk. it means it will give you the error signal. So we'll compute the error signal and output of it will be given to the compute factor 2 mu ek, because we have to find the value of wk plus 1. In this we have to use this particular factor, right? So for that we have to find out 2 mu ek. Now it will give you the output in the equation of wk plus 1. So it will update in the coefficient. So it will give you the output as wk plus 1 equals to wk plus 2 mu ek xk minus I. So if we are finding the value of this factor and putting this value in this equation, so for this particular instant we can find out coefficient of it to find the next filter coefficient. Now the next topic is limitation of this LMS algorithm. There are some limitation of this LMS algorithm also. The first limitation is effects of non-stationary behavior. Now what is the meaning of this? Non-stationary means, first of all, what is stationary? Stationary means fixed. So it will not change with any another parameter. And if we are saying that the non-stationary, it means it will changing with time. So as you know that if we are using the value of weight vector, so it will always changing with time, so it will give you the non-stationary behavior. Now the next limitation is effect of signal component. What is the effect of signal component? Suppose if we are consider that signal plus noise is occurring at the output, right? It will be given along with the noise signal to remove a noise. But in the noise signal, there may be some of the portion of the input signal. So in the removal of the noise, the signal component may be removed. So this will be removed, original signal will remove, so it will be considered as one kind of limitations, right? Next limitation is coefficient drift. Drift means change, and coefficient change it will consider as coefficient drift, right? So what will be the change in this? As you had taken the filter coefficients W, it will vary according to the situation. So at each and every time the coefficient will change, but to compensate this thing, we have to use the leakage factor in the narrow band spectrum. Because if we are taking the narrow band spectrum, then the change of the coefficient will be too much large. Right. So if we want to remove this effect, so to compensate this effect, we have to use the leakage factor to remove this drift of the coefficient. It means change in the coefficient. And the last limitation is effects of finite word length. We have to use the finite word length. But as you know that in the LMS algorithm there is a feedback. So because of feedback it will consider as the recursive filter, and because of feedback it will goes into the loop. So because of it may gives you the infinite word length, so it will gives you the limitation of the finite word length. So this way you can understand the LMS algorithm means least mean square algorithm. Thank you so much.